What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sons of Sever YouTube channel where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. My name is Eric. Today, my brother Chris and I will be reviewing for you the Feelgrounds Chelsea. Now, we've gotten a lot of Chelsea boots in this fall and winter. I think overall we're going to review about 6 or 7 of them. And this one so far is the most minimal or the most barefoot of all the ones that we've reviewed. So if that's something that you're looking for and that you're interested in, stick around. We're going to tell you all the things that we like and don't like about this boot. There's timestamps in the description if you want to jump around. Before we jump into our likes of the boot, however, we wanted to mention that we are going to the Barefoot Shoe Expo in Denver in May. And we're going to be making a ton of content that weekend. We're excited to interview all of the brands that you can see behind me up here that are going to be in attendance. There's quite a few of them: Lems, Splay, Xero. And so if you want to feel like you are at that expo, if you're not able to attend yourself, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of that content, any of those interviews with those brands. We're excited to see what's coming down the line from them. And now I'm going to send it over to Chris so that he can start us off with his likes of the Feelgrounds Chelsea.
Getting into my likes of the Feelgrounds Chelsea boot, the first thing that I want to mention is this might be the most comfortable Chelsea to my foot. That's going to come from a couple different factors. One thing that I definitely notice is that the volume balance in this thing is really, really good for me. The width of the toe box is fantastic as well, and this thing comes so broken in because it is faux leather that it feels really good on my foot right out the gates. The next thing I want to mention that I love about this boot is the minimalism. There is a little bit of a balance there. It is 10 millimeters overall, 7 millimeters if you take out the cork-topped insole, so you can get really close to the ground in this Chelsea, or you can add a little bit more underfoot in order to give you more protection. That's also going to lead to really, really good flexibility. I always love to see that in a boot specifically. I also want to mention how much I enjoy this traction pattern from Feelgrounds. They have it on the Patrol as well, and they have it on the new Chukkas that we just got from them. And this outsole tends to do really, really well in adverse environments. So if you're wearing this Chelsea, a Patrol, or the Chukkas, you really don't need to worry about slipping and sliding around too much. The last thing I want to mention with this when it comes to that traction pattern is the added versatility that you get out of all of these different features. I think this thing can really go all over the place. You can wear this to church in the morning. You can wear it for just a casual walk around the block with your dog in the afternoon. And you could totally wear this hiking if you want, maybe not going too crazy, not taking it way up in the mountains, but a little bit of minimal hiking. This thing's going to handle it really, really well, and it's going to look good while it does it.
Okay, so when it comes to my likes of the Feelgrounds Chelsea, the first thing that I'm going to say, and this is very common with all of Feelgrounds shoes that we've reviewed so far, and that is that they disguise their barefoot shoes very, very well. They look like normal shoes, and I love that integration into society. So I've been wearing this thing with my uniform at work pretty much this entire winter just because it looks so good, and even though it's extremely minimal, it's extremely barefoot feeling, it still looks like a normal shoe. And I think a big part of that is just a few of the features that they've designed into it. So it does have a very nice and roomy toe box, but that width stays pretty consistent throughout the midfoot of the shoe as well. So if you need a wider midfoot, then this is a great option for you. But that also does a lot to hide the fact that the toe box is so wide. So it looks a little more normal than other Chelsea boots that might taper more in the midfoot, really exposing that wide toe box. It also has this little raise right here on the outsole, and that is just an aesthetic thing. There isn't actually a heel right there. It's just the way that that rubber cups around your heel and lifts a little bit right there. It kind of gives it the look of having a heel, which again helps it just to integrate into everyday life. All right, so on top of being really good looking with my uniform, they can totally be dressed down as well. So if you just want a nice night out on the town, you're going somewhere cool like your city center, then they're gonna fit in really well there too. Not all of Feelgrounds shoes come with insoles, and this one comes with a really nice one. It's one of their cork insoles. So I think it adds just the right amount of squish under your foot to make this boot really, really comfortable. Chris already talked about the comfort that it has, and I totally agree with it, and that's why I've been wearing it at work so much as well, because it is a super comfortable boot to wear. So another thing that I appreciate about this boot is the updated outsole that they gave it. So they changed the rubber compound that they were working with to make it a little bit more durable, and I would have to say that it's definitely paying off. Like I said, I've been wearing this thing for months now to work on a very regular basis, and you can't can't even tell on the heel there that there's been any wear or tear on it. So I still heel strike when I walk, and there just really isn't a lot of wear where I strike the ground. So I think that the updated outsole that they have on this thing is definitely doing its job. All right, before moving on to our dislikes, we wanted to mention that we do have an affiliate link with Feelgrounds in the description of the video. So if any of this has piqued your interest, use that link to get to their website. If that results in a purchase, we get a small commission from that at no extra cost to you, and all that money is being invested back into the channel so that we can make better quality videos and get more gear into our hands for more reviews for you. We also wanted to mention the fact that they have kid sizes. So this is one that I got for my daughter for this fall and winter, and she has been loving it. She loves how convenient it is to get into. I love the wide toe box that it has because I know that her toes aren't being crammed into her shoe, and this outsole has proven to be really, really great. So there's been a few situations where she's been playing in water, and I've seen other kids slipping and falling, and she was always sure-footed, didn't fall, didn't get wet, and I loved that about this boot. Now, we know there's a little bit of pushback because kids' shoes can be expensive when it comes to barefoot shoes, and to that we would say that investing in their foot health is definitely a good idea. And if you have multiple kids, then buy a pair and pass it down to the next generation. It doesn't have to be a one and done thing. So if you're looking for barefoot kids shoes, Feelgrounds is a great option for you.
Getting into my dislikes of the Feelgrounds Chelsea, the first thing that I want to mention is materials. Eric and I have our opinions on what we think is better for the world and what we think is better for you physically, and typically leather is up there on the good to go materials list. Recycled materials and faux leathers tend to be lower on the list for us. So while this material feels good, looks good, seems to perform well, I'd still definitely prefer leather. The only other thing to mention for me is that I do wish that these were waterproof. That would make them a little bit more versatile, a little bit tougher, and I don't think it would detract too much from the positives that this boot already has.
Okay, when it comes to my dislikes of the Feelgrounds Chelsea, there's really only two things that I can think of. And the first one echoes what Chris said, and that is that we would just prefer this to be a real leather. Now, I don't think that Feelgrounds is ever going to bite on that. They're very dedicated to their vegan-friendly and eco-friendly shoes, and that's a great thing. We definitely don't want to fault them for that. I just think that real leather would last longer than faux leather. But outside of that, this does feel really nice. It mimics the real thing very well, and I have been wearing this all winter long. It's proven to be pretty durable. The second thing is I would take just a little bit more width out of the toe box. Now, this doesn't bother my toes at all, but when I compare it to something like the Lems Chelsea boot that we have, that one has a little bit more width to it, and my feet do enjoy that, and so I would take just a little bit more width out of the toe box. For the sizing, I'm an EU 42. I've always gotten 42s from Feelgrounds, and that's worked out perfectly. Their sizing seems to be pretty true to size and spot on for us.
Getting into my final opinion of the Feelgrounds Chelsea, would I recommend this to somebody who's looking for a barefoot Chelsea boot? I absolutely would. I'm kind of conflicted here because, again, recycled materials and faux leathers are not my favorite materials, but this seems to be maybe my favorite Chelsea boot that we've tried so far this season. It's shaped well for my foot. I love the stack height balance. It's extremely flexible. The outsole makes it very, very versatile, and I think it looks really, really good. If all those things sound good to you, definitely grab yourself a pair using the link down in the description.
All right, so when it comes to my final opinion of the Feelgrounds Chelsea, would I recommend this to other people? And absolutely. Like I said, I've been rocking this thing all winter long with my work uniform, and that's what I think I love most about it, is that Feelgrounds hides their barefoot shoes very, very well. It looks like a normal Chelsea boot in my opinion. A few different touches that I talked about with the heel right there and the way that the toe and the midfoot stay pretty uniform make this a really good looking but extremely minimal Chelsea boot. I love the barefoot feeling that I get out of this while I'm at work, and that makes this thing pretty awesome. I also love that Feelgrounds has kid sizes. Again, if you're looking for kids barefoot shoes, we would highly suggest checking out Feelgrounds at the stuff that they have.
Folks, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All those things really help the channel out. If you're interested in any of the products that we talked about in this video, there will be links to them down in the description. If we have discount codes for any of those companies, they will be featured with the links. If you want to get more content from us, there are 3 different places you can get it. The first one is Patreon, where for $1 a month, you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes content we don't post anywhere else. If you want to be most up to date with what we are working on, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we are constantly posting unboxing videos. Go follow us on Strava if you're interested in seeing mini reviews in real time of the products we're using and what we're using them for. Strava allows you to track and post about your different activities. We track and post about our runs, trail runs, hikes, paddleboarding, and weightlifting, and we do little mini reviews on the products we're using during those activities. Go follow us there, and we will follow you back. We appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.